Where we last left off, we had just made this dart body. And now we're going to go ahead and get into the drawing. And this is where the real fun kind of starts, because I'm going to show you some things that you may not know yet. Alright, so first we're going to change the sheet to A size, and the title block's too big, so we have to change this. Delete the old title block, go into drawing resources, grab a new one, ANSI A instead of ANSI large. Double click it, there it is. Go to your base, and there's the dart that we just drew. But this is way too big. We're going to make it 1:1 instead. Alright, we'll put in top view there, drag it down, put in a view of the body, and as you can imagine, we're going to put in a couple of typical dimensions like the overall length. Make sure you get the outside diameter. 1/2 inch looks good. And we also want to know how this is tapped with the hole and thread. Okay. It will also be good to know this angle here. Oh, there we go. We have to pull it off the back side. So in case you missed that, I clicked dimension and clicked on the angled line. I clicked on a flat point here, not a midpoint. And I just kind of dragged up until it switched from 170 to just 10 degrees. Alright, so these are all the key elements that I need, but then we have these fine details that I can't see very well. How do we get to those? Well, we have to make a new kind of view. We're going to make a detailed view. When you have something that's too small, you can click and drag, and whatever's circled there is going to break out, and you can put it somewhere else. So we're going to put this over here somewhere. And it's going to label it for us. This is detail A, and we can come in real close and we can dimension this to be a radius of 0.02. Does that seem right? No. Looks like this is actually 0.015625, or 1/32. So let's go and show that. What is that, 5, 6? We'll try 5. It was 6. We'll go to 6. Okay. I also can't really tell how deep this is. Well, I mean, I should come in here and double click on this, and let's hit a spacebar real quick, and we'll put in the symbol for depth, and we'll put in the value for the depth of that hole as well. So we're just tacking that onto the end of the drawing. So now everyone knows this is 3/4 of an inch deep. But we also want to kind of see the inside to know what this looks like. So another kind of view we're going to use is a section view. And you have to tell it what view you're making a section of. So see the little red boxes that pop up around these? I'm going to click on the box for this. I'm going to hover over the center, move straight up. I haven't clicked anything yet. I click above it. I click down inside it. And I'm going to click off to the side. Continue. I'm just going to pull this right off to the side here. Perfect. So now we can see a section view and see what the inside of the dart looks like. Okay. We're also going to make a section view of this long body. So again, I click section. I click on the box for the view that I want to make a section of. I always like to try and find a midpoint and then move my mouse up from that so I get the little trails that tell me that I'm doing something right. I cut all the way through this. This is a full section. I'll bring this off to the side as well. And this is just another way to show a little better of what exactly is happening with all this. Alright. What am I missing here? Oh, tolerances. Okay, so for this tolerance here, we have it set to a 1/2 inch. That's actually kind of my bad. We need to go back to our part file on that one, and we're going to change. Yes, the part is going to start at a 1/2 inch diameter, but it's going to be anywhere between 0.38 and 0.45. So let's go 0.45. And I think everything else should stay the same. Good. And now just for kicks, let's change this to 0.38 because I think they look a little nicer when they're smaller. Of course, you'll have to try a couple of these and see what your personal preference is for what size darts you like to throw. Okay. Now, I have 0.38, but I don't want it to be exactly 0.38. I want this to read, so I'm going to click just in front of this, between, I have our value of 0.38, dash, so I want between 0.38 and 0.45. I should put a little diameter symbol so everyone knows I'm talking about the diameter and not anything else. I'm also going to talk about a tolerance on here. Let's go to precision and tolerance, and we want a symmetric tolerance. A lot of times we grade things plus or minus some number. So we're going to put a symmetric tolerance on this number of 1,000th, 0.001. And what just happened? It looks like it doesn't, because this is just extra text, it's not putting this down below. Oh, there it is. Nope, doesn't show it there either. Alright, so we're going to remove the tolerance on this. We'll put it back to default. And instead, we're just going to hit enter. We'll use our symbol here and say plus or minus 0.001. And that looks a lot nicer. Excellent. Oh, I should probably have a diameter for this end here. So we have a 0.23 diameter for this end. We have a note here that's going to be between 0.38 and 0.45. It has a tolerance. That means that this can change plus or minus 1,000th of an inch. And that'd be between your three different darts you'd have to physically make. I'm going to move this A. Maybe I can't move the A. Oh, I thought for sure I could. Oh, don't want to move that. Alright, we'll leave the A where it's at. I'm going to try and make it a little nicer to read, but that's not necessary. That changed, so anytime that it's in purple, I like to just delete it and put it back in again. Which means, yes, I have to go back and change precision and tolerance and make this 6 again for primary units. Okay, so we have our section, and I think I actually want to make my section bigger so that people can see it better. So if you double click on the view for it, you should be able to override some things. Maybe not. We'll cancel out of that. It's fine the way it is. Alright. We do have to add a big note to this though. First thing we're going to say is to face all ends to exact overall diameter 2.50. And let's change diameter to length. I'm working off an old drawing and updating a few things. Face and center, drill all ends with number 2 center drill. Bore and tap, 2 tolerance, Find center of dart layout. For the 5 grooves. Cut grooves to correct depth on all 3 bodies. Cut angle on all ends as per drawing specs. Buff and polish. Excellent. So here's a nice big note for you. And that should help with referencing things. We also want to put in isometric views. Let's click on projected, and some of you may or may not know how to do this. You click on a view that already exists, and you click somewhere off to the side, and that will put in a isometric view. And actually, you have to make 3 different darts, right? So I'm going to put this in 3 times and say create. So I'm trying to make this as clear as possible to whoever's looking at it that yes, you have to make 3 separate individual darts. You can choose to line these all up if you wish. You can choose to offset them a little bit. I'll leave that part up to you. And really, that's about it. You know, this might be a little nicer if we made this 2-to-1 instead of 1-to-1. But yeah, let's change that real quick. We'll change the scale. We'll make this 2-to-1. There we go. Now everything's a little bit easier to see. We'll have to move our section C note, and we have to drag some of our dimensions back down inside the sheet. Move these over a little bit. Don't forget to put in your name. Give it a title. Let's call it Metals 2 Dart Project. Scale on this we set as 2-to-1. And unless you're making the tips for these, I think we're good to go.